Good afternoon, everyone. All right. So that last video I put out, well, not the last one, but the one about sharpening my knives to a razor sharp edge. As I mentioned, that one went completely viral, and it's still going crazy. I think the last time I looked, it was 82,000 plus views. But the point about that one, what I wanted to make here, is that there was a lot of people out there asking me how to sharpen without machinery. Okay, I mentioned that too in my last video. I felt bad about that. Sorry if I just came in from outside and I'm frozen. So if I don't talk quite right, then you'll know why. Woo, it's Vermont and it's cold and it's still snowing too. Jeez. Anyhow, so I'll do my best here until I thaw out. All right. I felt bad about not showing all the methods that I used to use anyway with sharpening. The last one again was just the method that I used on my machines with the Scotch-Brite belts and those methods there. Now, I've had countless inquiries about how to sharpen with stones, with ceramic rods, diamond stones, things like that, and this is what this video is. So I'm answering that request. And again, those guys out there who are bored stiff about watching sharpening videos, sorry, but I'm answering the call here. So everybody, there's been far more people asking for a video on how to do this than not. So what I'm doing here, I've got a lot of stuff set up. We'll just take it as it goes, and one step at a time. Now, what I have here is an itchy nose. Yeah. Okay. Is an old Kephart I made for myself. Oh, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. This is not quite the style that I make any longer. But it's the knife that I carry. It's the knife that I use when I'm out in the woods or whatever. And it works very well. And what I've done, which really kind of was, I dulled the hell right out of it. I mean, if I got to sharpen it, it should be dull first. And, okay, couple of cuts there on the paper, not going to do it. And I'm going to show how we do the leather test too. And it's sure as hell not going to cut any leather. So, all right. Now, this is a completely different change from what I use. No machinery, only oil stones, diamond stones, and a couple other things too that I have. Now, just to show everybody, I got a new camera phone. Oops, sorry, gimbal thingy here. So it's I'm still getting used to it. So anyhow, this one right here. Let me get it out. Harbor Freight. It's a multiple side, 4 sides, diamond stone, diamond sharpening thing. Now the finest one here is 200 grit, and boy, I tell you, that's I don't know about that. That's pretty coarse for 200. And then it goes from 2 to 3, 4, and 6. Okay. Now, these are, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks at Harbor Freight. Really handy, actually. If you just want to put a fast edge on something, on a knife, these are the way to go. Diamond stones work great. You do have to put water on it. Every stone, every kind of sharpening thing that you use, as opposed to the belts, of course, you have to have some kind of lubrication on there to keep to float the metal filings off of the stone. All right, otherwise it just gets clogged up. You can see that one, that's a little rusty. I haven't used this one much because I just don't use that method anymore. Now I'm going to lower this down so I think I can do it anyway. Okay, there it is, right there. That is a Smith Tri-Stone. It's got 3 stones on it, not 4. And a buddy of mine gave me this, oh boy, probably 50 years ago, maybe. And I looked on eBay to see if these are still available or online. And there was one on eBay, and it was vintage. So of course, at my age, I guess I'm considered vintage too. So anyway, you can get these. You can get these type of tri-stones on Amazon and all different. They have they're a little different now. Of course, there's more plastic. There's little knobs on the side to hold. Makes it a lot easier. Now, what I'm going to do now. Okay, so this one has carborundum on as the coarsest grit. All right, that's a man-made stone. There's different thoughts about that one as to whether you put oil on it or not. I do not put oil on carborundum. It just loads it up and it makes a mess. I don't, you know. So, and then there's the next step would be the medium Arkansas. Okay, Henry, you asked about that the other day on the phone. Medium Arkansas, and then a fine Arkansas. Okay, that's for the final edge. Really getting the pot. Not a lot of guys aren't going to go that far. And I'm also going to show how to do it in the field here too, for just holding up, you know, quick edge, outside hunting, field dressing, things like that, where you need to put a quick edge on your knife. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the coarsest grit that I have on that Harbor Freight one. Okay, because I want to get, this has got to be fast. Okay, nobody's going to take 3 hours to sharpen a knife. And I had a lot of guys talking about that, saying that they can't get the angle right and things. The angle is critical to a point, but the most important thing, just like I said in my last video, is you got to get rid of that burr. But you got to create it to begin with. The burr on the edge of the knife. I got to put my glasses on. All right, like I said, dull, really freaking dull. Wire edge. All right, I'm going to show you. I said about 22 degrees the last time, somewhere in that area. This is a angle thing here. Yeah, I think they sell them at Home Depot. Just right there. Okay. Okay, I should probably show it on this way. And yes, this is going to be a little long-winded, guys. There's a couple of them out there complaining about, you know, talking too much. It's got to be described and explained. So here it is. So somewhere in that area. Okay. It depends. Now these are saber ground. My knives are saber ground, and then it has the bevel after that, right on the very cutting edge. Okay, now that one is, well, if you divide it in half, it's about 20 or 12 degrees, maybe somewhere in that area. It's not that important. It really isn't. If you make it too far apart, not too sharp, then it's not going to cut very well. And there's a distinct difference, like I said in my last video. And please refer back to that one too, if you'd like there. Chef knives are ground different. Chef knives have a different angle when I'm sharpening. For much finer cutting, they wouldn't hold up very well in the woods or for a work knife. So there's different angles. So this is a work knife. So that's about where I'm going to make it to be, about 11, 12 degrees on both sides. But the bevel is established already, just like any knife. Just unless you've got a brand new knife that you haven't had a bevel put on it, which wouldn't make any sense, because when you have a knife, there's always a bevel, there's an edge on there. So, okay, that's long-winded. Sorry. I'm going to get that back. All right, hang on. We're going to get that edge back. That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I know. Okay. It's got face tracking on it too, so one of these days I'm going to use that. All right, oh, hang on a second. I got to put water on it. Okay, so just regular water, no big deal. But again, it is important. So I spill it all over myself here. Okay. Just, and get it right on there too. Don't, hold on a second. We'll just put it. There we go. Get it right on there. Get it going there. Alrighty. Now, another thing that everybody seems to have a problem is getting that, hold it right there. You got to get used to being able to feel where that bevel is. Okay. It's as simple as that. A lot of guys put pennies under the back and things. Very, very, very hard to do that. Kind of clumsy. It just doesn't work for me, but once you get to doing it for a while, you'll be okay. Now, again, just draw it to yourself. Okay. Oh, hold on. That's going to, all right, there we go. Okay, we'll do that side. Now, I usually do about 3 on both sides, 3 or 4. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now, that's the coarsest grit we have. Supposedly that's 200. I think it's a little bit more than that. I'd be careful because I got my hand over here. Usually I got this on something that doesn't slide so bad, but we're just going to do it like that. All right. So we're going to keep on doing this. And no, I do not agree about going like that. A lot of guys do that. It'll work, but it's too hard to control and maintain that bevel. If you keep on drawing it towards you easily like that, not too crazy, not too hard either, that's the best way to do it. On an axe, maybe that's a different story, but not on a knife. Okay, keep on going. Now that's probably going to happen pretty quick here. No. All right, we'll just keep on going here. Again, trying to do this as fast as possible so that nobody's taking hours on end to sharpen a knife. Some guys do like to do that. Getting there. Excuse me. Depends also on the steel that you're using. Now this is 5160, so it's a carbon steel, not too bad, not too hard to sharpen. Good in the field. All right, already starting to get a burr. Now, the burr is only going to be on one side, and that would be on the side opposite of where you're grinding. The burr will start to raise up here. All right. Okay. Now, I usually like to hold on to it here, but this thing likes to slide. So we're going to switch over to the Arkansas stone here in a minute. But I just wanted to establish that burr first. Okay, a little bit more. And again, keep the stone wet so that those filings come right off, float right off there. Now again, you may have trouble holding that angle there, but it's not super critical. You can be off just a little tiny bit, as long as you're catching that edge and consistently through the whole stroke right there. All right, there it is. Okay, we're going to pause here for a minute, and I'm going to switch over to other stones here. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Now I switched out to the actual oil stone tri-stones here, and that right there is the medium or soft. It depends on, it doesn't really matter. It's just not the white hard one. Okay, usually it's about a medium Arkansas, kind of gray. Now here we go again. Gotta have oil on there, some kind of stuff. Get it on there just to float those shavings off, or filings off. Now we got a burr. Okay, took about, I don't know. Now remember, that was completely dulled. I drew this knife across this one, that way, to dull this. I deliberately did that just so we can get right from the beginning. So we got a burr on this side right here. All right, so now I'm going to do this same thing on this particular stone, and we'll just keep on going until we get a better finish on that thing, on that bevel. All right. What that diamond stone did was it's a rough cut stone. Well, stone is not a stone. You know what I mean? Diamond stone. And that's the whole point. You want to establish that bevel again and get it to the point where you got the burr. Okay. I know I keep saying that, but that's very important. So now we're doing it on the Arkansas stone. Not a big deal. Really not that hard. You can definitely see the difference in the edge once you take it off the stone. Hang on a second, I'll show everybody. What it'll do is it'll start to shine. it'll be a much more polished edge. I don't know if I can quite get that in there. Yeah, it's looking better already there. Yeah. Okay, maybe you can see it. There it is. Okay. So, and you can also, the burr after the coarse diamond stone is going to be very ragged. Okay, you can feel it, but it feels different when you start sharpening on the next stone, the next step. Feels different. Has a whole different. You can still tell where it is though, but it's only on one side. Now we'll just keep on doing that. Now this doesn't take anywhere near as long as the first step because again that knife was very dull. And you should do the same amount of strokes here on each side, but yeah, hell, I forget it. You know what the hell. And then maybe going down to 1 or 2 because we're getting close here. 1, just to even off the bevel. It'll also make that burr a little bit less pronounced. It'll be a wire edge on the end. We're going to go down to the hard Arkansas to get a really fine edge. Yeah, that's getting really good now. Okay. All right, next one. Right there. Now you could probably leave it at right, well you could leave it at right that particular stone and be done with it and then go to the stroke. Now I'll show how to do that too in a minute. But if you really want a good edge, real super sharp, it's best to go down to the next grit. Fine stone, and that would be a hard Arkansas. Okay, or oh hell, I don't know what this one had. 600, I think. 600 on the Harbor Freight diamond. Yeah. Okay. Put that back in there. Alrighty. Okay. I want to slip and cut my hands there. There we go. Now this one you can actually, something about that, the hard Arkansas stone, you can really feel that cut into the blade, or the blade really working on that stone. Okay. Not hard. Don't have to press hard, just keeping the bevel at the right angle. And I'm normally standing up when I'm doing this, so it's a little hard to show everything. But, well, we're just going to do a couple here, because we're pretty sharp already. Now again, this is the whole point of doing this, is to go as fast as we can without taking forever to put an edge on. Feel for the burr all the way down the length of the blade. Just go backwards with your thumb, because if you go anywhere else, you're going to cut your hand, which is not a good idea. Alrighty. One more time. Okay. All right, now so far this whole process has taken maybe 5 minutes. I know I stopped there for about 5 minutes and 36 seconds on the recorder here, the camera. All right, we'll put that to the side. And we go for the leather strope. Okay, I showed that in the last strop, whatever the hell you want to call it. I've got the green compound on there. I showed that in my last video. Actually, any kind of polishing compound, I just prefer green. That's middle of the road. Works very well. Okay, here we go. Backwards this time. Again, this is not an oil stone. You don't use that, you don't sharpen going this way on a strope. This is to take that burr off of the edge. Okay, here we go. May take a little while, maybe not. Depends on how big of a burr you have on there. This can come off pretty quick. Now, I didn't mention that in my last video. I actually have a power leather belt on a 1x32 belt grinder. And it's the same principle. It goes about 200, 300 times faster than doing it by hand. So Again, this is meant for everybody that doesn't have machinery and just wants to use every type of, any kind of old oil stone or diamond stone. All these things can be found easily in Harbor Freight or at Amazon. Okay. Now again, just keep that angle same as you would if you were going forward on the oil stone. Just keep that angle up like that. This isn't quite as critical as doing the oil stone as far as the angle goes. All right, we're gonna give it a try here. Pull out the paper test. Might not be quite there yet. I think it's, yeah, no, I don't feel any burr. Let's see what happens here. This is all on camera, so getting there, not quite. Oh, look at that. Getting the right angle. All right, a little bit more. Now that was pretty fast, okay? But I can't stress enough how important this is to get that burr off of the end of that edge. I don't care what you do. I don't care what stone you use, how you sharpen it, even if it's on a rock. It is not going to cut unless you take that burr off that edge, because it's just going to roll over and become even more jagged, and it just won't work. You have to take that off, and the only way you can do that, well, there's a couple different ways other than the leather strope, is a piece of cardboard. Okay, I've done that in the past too. Just get a piece of cardboard, kind of, fold it up a couple times, box there, same thing. It's abrasive. So put it on something flat, and that will take it off. Believe it or not, your apron or your pants, that, of course, your pants, the leather jeans, that's not going to work as well. But the best one, of course, is the leather. But if you don't have the leather, use a piece of cardboard. And believe me, that actually works pretty good. I used to do that too when in a pinch. Now this should be a lot more flat. I don't really flatten that out that much, but that will take the burr right off of it. All right, let's try. There we go. Hang on. Fold it in half this time. Oh boy. Yeah, getting there. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we are. Nope, not yet. Okay, keep on going. All right, I'm going to pause this for a minute, get some more compound. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again, and I had one thing I had to take care of, which everybody knows is incredibly important here, so that's been taken care of. All right, so I got the strobe, loaded that up again with green compound. Okay, Harbor Freight, they sell them all in tubes there, so easy to find. All this stuff can be found at Harbor Freight or any or even Home Depot, I think. So we're just going back and forth as many times as needed to get that burr off of there. Again, that is incredibly important. I don't care what you sharpen on. I don't care if it's a rock. You have to, excuse me, you have to get rid of that burr. If it's still there, if it's on there even just a little bit, it's going to roll over as soon as you start cutting something. Not good. Take the time to use the leather, use the cardboard, leather apron, something, leather belt. Take your belt off. Well, maybe not take your belt off, but and keep on going. Now, the angle is almost the same. Okay, when I'm doing that, I like to make it just a little bit flatter. It just kind of has a tendency to work just a little bit better. Contours to the bevel a little bit more. Now, in my last video, I showed how I made that apple seed profile on the edge. You can't do that this way. You just can't. This is going to be a flat bevel. You're not going to be able to, I mean, if, stroping it back and forth on this thing here gives it just a little bit of a a convexed just a little bit, but nowhere near as much as you would if you had the machinery that I was using before. But again, this is showing how to sharpen with what you can, what you have, oil stones, anything. Now, okay, here we go. Yeah, right. Okay, we know that's sharp. Now, the final test that I usually use before I put my knives out is a piece of leather. 9-10 ounce leather. Here we go. Yeah, that's sharp. Whew. Oh, almost hit my coffee. Oh boy. All right. All right. So I have shown how to sharpen on oil stones. Hang on a second. Got to get this right here. Okay. Diamond stones, oil stones. Okay, showed all that. Now, there's other things you can use if you're out in the field. Okay, like I said before, field dressing, deer, you know, bushcraft guys, whatever you got to put a quick edge on. These things right here, same thing, diamond stone, but they come in a little handle thing. Really cool. Works great. This one's kind of worn out. I've had it for years now. Probably could use another one. This, take out in the field, put it in your pocket, in your pack or something. You can put an edge on quick. It's not going to be super sharp. Well, it's going to be sharp, but it's not going to be a super fine edge like if what you've just done here with the oil stones. But it'll work. It'll cut. It'll take care of everything. Now, ceramic rods. That's another one. Okay, I got this eBay, I think. These work good for a little bit more polishing of the edge. Okay, not an aggressive sharpener by any means. You know, you see those. There's ones out there with the V's. You know, they have two of them sticking up. Okay, it'll work, but if you really got a dull edge, you got to go through all the steps that I just showed. Coarsest grit that you can find on a stone, and work through the grits. Not crazy, maybe 3, and then finish off with this one. Okay, to get a really sharp edge. Lots of different kinds of field stones out there sharpening for diamond. This one was Tractor Supply, I think. Just it's got a flat edge, got a round edge. It's for you know, sharpening fish hooks too. Really handy to have. Not hugely aggressive on the cut, but it'll do it. Okay, really good work. Other guys, they talk about sharpening steels. Okay, this is another one, ancient. I don't know. This is, oh geez, 50-something years old. Sharpening steels do not sharpen a knife. I know that's counter, you know, to what everybody thinks. They just a little bit of the edge. Okay, what they do is they straighten the edge. Okay, they actually just, when you're drawing that knife down, they straighten the edge of any kind of little microscopic or even bigger little dips and bumps and things in the edge that develop over time and using it. That's all they do. They may sharpen a little bit, unless of course it's a diamond one, which, you know, like that one, just bigger. Diamond ones will work great as far as putting an edge back on, but this actually only straightens the edge out. You really do need to have a little bit more for a really sharp, fine edge. You need to have, you know, that last ceramic one at the end. And then of course the stroke. You've got to have something, leather, cardboard, whatever. Okay. Don't mean to be redundant, but I've had a lot of people ask, a lot of people inquiring about what to do, how to do this and that. That is the best example I have of being able to sharpen at home with whatever kind of stones that you have. Lots of different options there available. Inexpensive. Don't have to have machinery. Okay, so I guess that's it. Hopefully everybody stuck with me to the end here. Sorry, I hope I didn't bore anybody. Got a lot more coming, and anybody please add the comments below if you'd like. For those who are bored, sorry. not your video, obviously. So thanks again, and please like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you again for all of the activity I've had here. My channel is taking off like crazy, and I really appreciate it. We're going to have a lot more content coming up. Okay, thanks again, everyone. Catch you in the next one. If I could turn it off.